Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited, 3 Italian Air Force Frecce Tricolori jets collide during airshow. A6M3 Zero flies again. Houthis lose 3 Airbuses in Israeli airstrikes. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Talon. Let's get into today's stories. 3 Italian Air Force Frecce Tricolori jets collide during airshow. 3 MB-339 jets from the Italian Air Force's aerobatic demonstration team, Frecce Tricolori, collided mid-air during an airshow display. Luckily, despite some substantial damage to the planes, no injuries were reported. The team was scheduled to perform on May 6 as part of the Pantelleria Airshow on Italy's Pantelleria Island. Typically, 10 of the Aermacchi MB-339 pony aircraft fly at a time, with 9 in close formation and 1 solo. One of the aircraft hit 2 others while in formation. The 3 pilots quickly moved to get their aircraft on the ground. Pony numbers 6 and 9 landed successfully despite having significant damage to their vertical stabilizers. Pony 8 was not so lucky, veering off the runway after touchdown and sustaining severe blows to its nose and underside. A statement from the Italian Air Force says, quote, "On the early afternoon of Tuesday, May 6, during an aerobatic training flight of the Frecce Tricolori at Pantelleria Airport following the Catania Air Show, an abnormal separation of the formation during the cardioid maneuver required the interruption of the aerobatic program," end quote. There were no serious injuries reported, though one of the 3 pilots involved was transported to a nearby hospital for a potential leg fracture. As of now, it's unclear how the mid-air will affect the team's schedule or if the damaged jets can be repaired. After the break, Hartzell Pathfinder carbon prop gains approval for Aviat Husky.
The legendary BD-4-seat program is building an exciting future for those who want a rugged 4-seat family flyer with a proven history. The SureWings program produces a complete kit and builder assist program that gives you everything you need to be flying a BD-4CS in record time. For conventional kit builders, BD Aviation has parts, partial kits, and full kits for the 190-mile-per-hour BD-4C that has logged thousands of hours. Visit SureWings.com and BDAviation.com for more details.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. Hartzell Pathfinder carbon prop gains approval for Aviat Husky. Hartzell Propeller has received the STC for its Pathfinder 3-blade carbon fiber prop for the Aviat Husky aircraft. The new propeller is available as a top prop STC upgrade for an existing aircraft and as an STC option for new production models through Aviat. The Pathfinder is an 80-inch prop that replaces existing 2-blade composite aluminum and wood propellers on Aviat Husky models A1, A1A, A1B, A1C180, and A1C200. It's certified for aircraft powered by Lycoming O360C1G 180 horsepower and IO360 A1D6 200 horsepower piston engines. RAF Flyby commemorates VE Day with multiple aircraft. The Royal Air Force executed a memorable reminder and celebration on May 5, 2025, of the 80th anniversary of Victory in Europe, or VE Day, signifying the end of World War II in Europe, which was officially May 8th. 6 waves of RAF aircraft conducted a large formation flight over numerous sites in England, concluding with a flyover of Buckingham Palace in London. The formation flew a route that took the aircraft over Norfolk, Suffolk, and Essex, then over the capital. Qatar Airways to place large Boeing order. According to reports, Qatar Airways is finalizing a large order for Boeing wide-body aircraft, and Saudi Arabia and UAE are also planning to announce aircraft investments when President Donald Trump visits the Middle East, beginning May 13th. The report said the order would be for about 100 aircraft, with options for up to 100 additional airliners. Although it has not been announced or confirmed, the news is said to have been originated from people familiar with the process. NBAA opposes new luxury aircraft tax. NBAA is making its voice heard, urging the Washington governor to throw out a potential new tax on luxury recreational vehicles. This applies to not only motorhomes and boats, but also non-commercial aircraft valued above $500,000. On top of the luxury aircraft fee, Washington Senate Bill 5801 introduces several funding mechanisms and regulatory changes to bolster the state's transportation system. It has already received the green light from the Washington legislature and was delivered to the state's governor, Bob Ferguson, on April 27th. That's it for today's Trip Around the Patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. A6M3 Zero flies again. After a lengthy restoration from a collection of scrap off Taroa Island, the Military Aviation Museum announced the first flight of their A6M3 Zero, probably the first Model 32 variant to fly since the factory made them in 1945. The aircraft has been getting a mountain of attention from those working to build it back from the ground up, taken from a pair of Pacific aircraft hulks. Those two aircraft served as the basis for a full airworthy build. Legend Flyers has been working with serial numbers 3148 and 3145 to get a single plane, but the Zero was never really expected to be a centennial aircraft when left out in the wild, and the Pacific Island environment was pretty rough on their remains. Even so, Legend Flyers tapped everyone with a working knowledge of the type, getting help from Brad Pilgrim to give it a final okay before setting flight this year. Thankfully, the test was a success. Back then, a taxi test exposed problems with the prop governor and temperature sensors, so Legend staff fixed it up. Unfortunately for them, the coastal climate refused to cooperate for over 2 months. The Zero was put through its paces by the MAM's chief pilot Mike Spalding. His notes are quite positive about the aircraft, a testament to the inherent quality of the vintage Mitsubishi design. After these messages, Houthis lose 3 Airbuses in Israeli airstrikes.
I'm currently using the Hartzell Talon, by far the best aerobatic propeller ever come out.
I use the Trailblazer. It adds performance to the Super Decathlon and dependability, and it's rugged.
Hartzell's been an excellent partner for Whip Air, just in terms of your product support as well as keeping an eye on the market and developing new products that meet demand.
It's helping us all have better performing airplanes.
It's such a proud honor to fly behind that propeller.
Meet the first of a new generation of the M-Class family. The M700 Fury. An aircraft worthy of the name and indomitable force. The M700 Fury transcends traditional limits with more power, blistering performance, a finely appointed interior, and the luxury of what matters most. Time. Experience the Fury. Join the legacy.
Welcome back. Houthis lose 3 Airbuses in Israeli airstrikes. The Houthi rebels recently lost 3 out of their 4 aircraft, including 2 Airbus A320s and 1 A330, due to Israeli airstrikes on Yemen's primary airport. All airline and airport employees had been evacuated before the strikes, leaving no human fatalities. The airstrikes, launched on Tuesday, May 6th, looked to destroy 3 civilian planes, the departure area, the runway, and a military airbase at Sana'a International Airport in Yemen. The Houthis reportedly utilized the field to, quote, transfer weapons and operatives. Several other targets were hit in the city, including power stations and cement factories. This airport was used to serve domestic and international commercial flights through Yemenia Airlines. With it now being completely disabled, the carrier will likely shift operations to Aden International Airport. A Yemenia Airlines employee confirmed that all workers, quote, had left before the strikes were carried out, and, quote, the only aircraft that survived the bombing was a Yemeni plane that was outside the country at Queen Alia Airport in the Jordanian capital Amman, end quote. Initial counts suggest that there were no fatalities. This was a revenge act from the IDF. Just a few days earlier, a missile from the Iranian-backed Houthis landed near Israel's main international hub, Ben Gurion Airport. This injured 6 and shut down airport operations for around an hour. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.